Hey everyone, it's Ethan here. I am back to doing another repair on my John Deere 3039R. This is one that I've been putting off for a little while, and it is removing the Rockshaft cover to replace this gasket here. As you can see, my gasket failed, and the tractor's been leaking a pretty significant amount of hydraulic oil. Not enough that it's been unable to be used, but enough that I take care not to park it on someone's driveway. The reason, well, I understand why this gasket failed on my tractor. I drive it down the road with a very heavy 74-inch Norman snowblower. And when it bounces, the snowblower being behind the lift arms pulls this cover back, and then the Rockshaft as well. There's just a lot of stress on this, so I don't blame John Deere at all for this happening. But I've done lots of reading about removing this Rockshaft cover. I've never seen anybody make a video like this, removing it on a 3R or a 3020 series tractor. There has been many posts online about the hiccups that the John Deere Rockshafts get. In the Rockshaft is the 3-point hitch lift mechanism. I'll show you that later, but some of the symptoms of a failing Rockshaft cylinder or a failure in the system is that your implement will slowly drop, and when it drops, the Rockshaft, because it is position sensing, realizes that the 3-point hitch is lowered, and then it will raise to go back to the position where you have the lever in the cab set. So it's basically compensating for that leak many times over in a minute. And my tractor used to be pretty bad. It would like settle and come up, a couple times over a minute. And I did replace the Rockshaft control valve, which has made it better. But I'm also going to be replacing some other parts in the Rockshaft while I have it off. So that leak and the kind of hiccup that I've been having is what led to this repair. But I mostly wanted to show that taking the Rockshaft cover off of the tractor is not a big job. It probably took me 2 hours to get to this point. I know the tractor looks pretty torn down, but really, remove all the 3-point hitch arms. That's pretty simple and straightforward. You can do that just by looking at it. You'll need to remove the third SCV. My tractor is equipped with that electronic third SCV, and it's mounted up in this area. There's a few hydraulic lines that need to be removed in order to do that. You're going to need to be able to remove the hydraulic line that's here either way. This is the feed, so the hydraulics come in through this green line from the pump, and it feeds through. This is the loader valve first, and then this would feed to the third SCV. If your tractor doesn't have the third SCV, then this line will go straight to the Rockshaft control valve. But because I have the third SCV, this line goes up to the third SCV. So take that off, and then the third SCV then feeds the Rockshaft. So you gotta take those lines off, get that out of the way. I don't really think there's anything else on this side I removed. This bracket was on top of the Rockshaft housing. And then this cable here, you need to remove. This is the Rockshaft. This is the cable that comes from the cab to that Rockshaft control valve. I also, just to make things easier, I removed this shift linkage. I unpinned it. It gets pinned in right there. And what this shifter controls is the mid and rear PTO selection. So if you don't have a mid PTO, you don't need to worry about that at all. And then this bracket has some wiring on it, which is attached with the bolts on the Rockshaft cover. So remove that, and everything kind of comes out of the way. All the bolts that go in here are 15 millimeters. And it's important to note the location of the bolts because there are several different lengths in the housing. And there's actually another bolt right here, which I'll show you. That bolt is right here by the Rockshaft control valve. And it's such a long bolt that you cannot remove it without raising the cab. So I just removed it. I left it in the cover like this and removed the whole cover with that bolt in there. You will not be able to get it out because the cab is too close to it and that bolt is too long. So aside from that, the Rockshaft cover only needs to be raised enough to clear these alignment dowels. There's one in the back and one up there. Well, I guess this is the front, and then there's one in the back. So other than that, this cover really doesn't need to be lifted up hardly at all. This bracket mounts to the Rockshaft control valve. This is the diff lock pedal. Yeah, that's the diff lock pedal. And then this is the parking brake, if you have the hand brake for the parking brake. And then these parts are just connected. I just unpinned them in the center. That's the easiest way to do it. If you unpin it down here, it's going to be hard to get off without removing some of these other brackets. And then I also removed this linkage here. I don't know if this actually needs to be removed, but this is the transmission range selector right here. May not even need to remove that, but pretty simple job. I was very intimidated by doing it. There are some other guys who had posted that their dealer had done this and that the cab needed to be lifted slightly, but they were able to get it off without removing the cab. This has honestly been a very surprisingly easy project, and I shouldn't have put it off this long. So I wanted to make this video and just tell people it's really not an intimidating project and you can do it without lifting the cab. So now here's the Rockshaft housing. This is what I wanted to remove from the tractor. So I have obviously disassembled it. If you want to understand how the Rockshaft works, this arm goes inside of the housing. You do not see it, and it rotates like this, back and forth. And this is the piston that that arm goes inside of. This piston travels back and forth. This is the lifting piston, basically, cylinder. And then you have, this is the actual Rockshaft here. That spline shaft goes all the way through here, through this piece, and then goes to the Rockshaft arms. It's important that when you remove the Rockshaft arms, you note the position of them. And the way that I noted it, that spline shaft does not have a one certain way that it fits into this. It will fit into this anyway. So you can adjust the position of these arms relative to this. You can adjust their positions freely. So I marked with a Sharpie right here on, I forgot to mark it on this arm, but before I took this one off, I realized that I should probably mark that. So I marked this arm here, and the way I did that is by rotating it up as high as it will possibly go. And the reason that I did that is because that allows me to locate these outer Rockshaft arms with this interior arm, because this interior arm can only rotate so far this way before it bottoms out on the case of this Rockshaft case. So basically my alignment is measured based off of when this bottoms out on this housing. And then I can set the position of the arms based on that. That's the only way it made sense to me to do it. So if you're having problems with the 3-point hitch, doing the hiccup thing where it kind of lowers and raises and lowers and raises, the Rockshaft control valve is inside of here. That Rockshaft control valve is about $800. I replaced mine last fall, and it made a significant difference. It very, very much helped with the issue. And I've been having that issue with this tractor since 200 hours. It has progressively gotten worse once I replaced this control valve. It's so much more tolerable. Completely changed the problem. But since I have it apart, I'm going to replace this seal in the middle of this piston. My piston in here, you won't be able to see it, but I also removed this end piece here. Just comes right off with the 4 bolts. And that's how I was able to push this piston out the back. So the piston inside the cylinder is not scored. I wanted to check that, like if it's scored really badly, that can be causing the oil to bypass around this piston. But I'm just gonna replace this gasket in here, I guess, and if it gets better, it's better. If it's not, it's not. But yeah, there's really not a lot of information about doing these repairs online that I've been able to find. Just people replacing parts or dealerships replacing parts, things like that. So if you guys have questions, I'll try to answer them the best of my ability. I'm not a master at any of this, but I have a little bit of hands-on experience and a good understanding of how everything works. If you are going to tackle this project on your own, make sure you have a 24mm wrench for some of these hydraulic lines, and also a 30mm wrench for some of the bigger ones. So like this is where the hydraulics feed into this Rockshaft control valve here. That's going to be a 30mm, but like back here, this is the drain to tank, and the third SCV has a line that goes to this. That's going to be a 24mm. That's a bit smaller, but this is just a tank drain for that third SCV. You may not have anything going here. If you have a Power Beyond, there's going to be some more hoses involved in the routing, but you should be able to figure it out. So not a super complicated thing, but it should be much less intimidating now that you know that this cover can be removed without pulling the cab. If you have an open cab tractor, you're even more lucky, but you don't get air conditioning or heat. So anyways, guys, if you got questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to go order some parts and hopefully have this thing back together by the end of the week and not leaking. But take care.